Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Expecting a little bit of rain today. Nothing too significant, but we've had a few sprinkles already this morning, but we are expected to have a little bit more significant rain this afternoon. I don't think anything severe, but it's been a strange year so far. So here we are into easily into June, and still getting some pretty decent wet weather, so no complaints there. The world is a crazy place right now, folks. Lots and lots of uncertainty. I believe that the coming days are going to be quite I don't know if the word would be shocking, but definitely some awe. Okay, I posted yesterday that the war was imminent with Iran, and a lot of people disagree with that, but there is definitely some indication that we're days away of seeing at least Israel strike Iran. They have sent word to the United States that they are ready, fully ready to move, and there's no indication that the United States has said stop. In fact, there is some unconfirmed reports being shared online from sources inside the White House, which honestly probably doesn't mean anything, but there could be some truth to it, that the president has quietly given the green light to Israel to start taking actions. There has been a lot of plane movement in the Middle East, United States plane movement. There's been some planes that's taken off and then shut off their responders, their transponders, so that indicates that maybe there's some cooperation there with the United States. I think that most people agree that once this starts happening, that the United States will be involved at some level with Israel. A lot of this is coming on the heels that the UN watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, has released a report absolutely confirming that Iran is in the process of building a nuke. The Secretary of Defense reported that yesterday to the Senate, that they are moving forward with that. Iran has announced that they're going to increase their nuclear capabilities and production. And so it's this rapid buildup. Evacuations have been given, orders have been given in the Middle East to several U.S. embassies. The military is on high alert. Everything seems to just rapidly be building up. Now, of course, this, talk that Iran is getting ready to build a nuke, I mean, we've been hearing this for 30 years, but this is the first time that the UN has confirmed. Israel has been saying for 30 years or so that Iran is weeks away from having a nuclear weapon, but this is the first time that the United Nations has confirmed it. And it does look like things are different than in the past, and definitely more tense. So I think that we are very likely days away. Iran is rapidly getting ready. They've been doing military exercises. They say they're ready for this. Israel says it's ready for this. The region around that area seems to be preparing for it. We're looking at oil tanker traffic and just military movement. Israel has been moving their Iron Dome missile systems. It looks like an anticipation of Iran striking Israel, so they're moving them in positions to better protect Israel in that way. So a lot of things seem to be happening. Is it going to happen? There's always a chance no. I feel, I don't know if that means anything, but I think this time it is going to happen. And remember, Iran and Israel did do a few little back and forth missile throws, but it was all fairly minor, very, very little damage. I think that this could be significantly different. Now, the thing is that to keep in mind is the reports is that Iran's nuclear facilities are deep, deep underground. And if they are built in the depth and the way that it's being reported, it's very likely that there's not really any type of munitions that's going to reach them. So we'll see how that works. It's not going to be a simple thing of Israel going over and dropping some bombs on an area, destroying it, and going back home. If they're that deep and they're unable to destroy them, it could prolong this and could cause it to get much bigger. Now, remember, like I said yesterday, the reports are also that that orders have been given to sleeper cells, to jihadists around the world, that once this starts happening, it's a free-for-all when it comes to any type of Israeli or U.S. targets, to act upon them. So that's a big deal. Oil prices have jumped up yesterday. Reports are, and these are official reports from various investment institutions, that if this happens, that we could see oil surge to well over $150 a barrel almost overnight. So there's that. The U.S. dollar lost value again yesterday, the lowest it's been in several years. And of course, the no king, anti-ICE, whatever protest, there's different names for it, is expanding. And the buildup of military for the parade in a couple of days in Washington is happening. And there's been indication, there's rumors. And when I say it's not me saying the rumors, it's that there are posts online, and these are typically from like reporters, news agencies, which we've always, even before the internet, remember when it was just newspapers and television, we would hear that. Sources inside the White House. Could be a bunch of baloney, but sources are saying, whoever those sources are, that the president is considering invoking the Insurrection Act. Now, if that happens, we've got the Insurrection Act invoked. We've got Homeland Security is requesting additional 20,000 military troops to be deployed in the United States. And we would have, Israel and the United States attacking Iran, with Iran and jihadists going active against the United States. And we're talking a lot of stuff, folks. It's a lot of stuff. I don't think we need to be living in fear over this. I don't think any one of you need to be panicking. Because number one, it's not happened yet. Number two, even if it does happen, which I'd say the chances are greatly increasing that it is going to happen, panic is not the answer. That's when you make mistakes. That's what they want you to do. That's why they've, for years tried to discourage homesteading and self-sufficiency and off-grid and made fun of prepping. And they don't want you to be prepared. They want you to be dependent upon them. They want you to have that emotional fear. And then because of that fear, you will accept whatever they throw at you. And a lot of us believe that a big portion of everything that's happening is pushing us further down the road to where they can say, okay, you're terrified, the world's bad, there's violence everywhere, there's chaos, the economy, the dollar, everything, nothing works right. Nothing's functioning properly anymore. So we have a solution. We have this neutral, highly intelligent, unemotional entity that can make decisions for us, right? It will monitor all the bad people. We'll be flying around in cars. If you missed it yesterday, the president issued an executive order to push the development of flying cars. Yeah, flying ambulances, flying taxis. It's all right there in the official executive order. We'll have this mass surveillance system, which has been talked about. Don't forget, they're building the big Skynet AI facility there in Texas, Abilene, Texas, and they're building another one over in the Middle East. This will be the big infrastructure that's going to monitor everyone. So this is their plan. These things aren't just randomly happening, folks. And when we understand that, know that, I think it should help us to not be as fearful. That's also why we get prepared. That's why we do the typical prepping stuff, have stockpiles, your bug out bag, your get home bag, but also learn to do more for yourself. Have a plan. Have a plan with others. Have a plan of how to communicate. How's your comms working? How are you going to come up with food and sanitation and defense and medical? Do you have a plan for that kind of stuff? If all of these events that are happening start to really ramp up, there could be breakdowns. It could be widespread, nationwide. It could just be regional. Could just be local. It may just be that it's too dangerous to venture out. Some of you may live in areas where it's just not safe for you to be going outside your home very much. And so you need to have a plan. You need to have a stockpile of stuff. You need to be able to communicate. Communication is actually getting much easier now. The devices to do that are readily, easily available, and the cost has come down. Yeah, I know. The cheap ones are all Chinese. Oh, well. The good ones are hardly made in America either, so... they're all of your radiocom devices pretty much are being imported in, so whatever. But these things, they're not hard to get. It's not difficult to have things set aside. It costs a little money, a little time, but it's worth it, because if you don't, then you become the victim, exactly what they want you to be. Then you're living in fear. You have no clue what to do. And your options are to perish or to, latch on to that government teat and do whatever they say. And so you need to be proactive about this. I think over the coming days and weeks, we need to be very proactive when it comes to your personal safety defense. Between the protests and riots going on, the possibility of strikes in Iran, and the real possibility of sleeper cells, jihadists going active, it's just a good thing to kind of step up your personal security and your situational awareness. If you can be armed, you should be armed. And you should be cautious about especially certain areas that you go to. Not saying every place you go, you're going to be terrified. When I'm around here and I'm running to the hardware store, everything's pretty normal for me. But if I were to take a trip this weekend to St. Louis in some areas, or to Chicago, I don't know why in the world I would go to those places, but let's just say, yeah, my situational awareness is going to be way, way higher than it is out here. I'm going to be definitely on alert. And so have some common sense, continue to get prepared. These events could rapidly change and fall apart very quickly. They may not, but everything right now, looking at what's going on, if we take everything at face value, it does look like that there's an imminent, and I'm not talking minutes or hours, but over the next several days, maybe week or two, it does look like that there is an attack being developed and planned, and that will take place against Iran. And every source that I can find, both sides, all believe that. And so we need to prepare for that, because there could be major repercussions back here in the homeland. And then it's just another war that we're caught up in. While we're still caught up in a war up with Russia and Ukraine, I know there's debate on that, but we still are. And then, of course, for the most part, war in at least some American streets. So, yeah, you need to continue your preparations, step things up, revisit your plans, how you're going to communicate. There's still time to acquire some things. Maybe you need to stock up, fill water jugs, water containers, top things off, fuel containers. Go through your equipment, make sure everything's functioning fine, magazines loaded, your med kits are good. These are things that you should be doing on a regular basis anyways. That's part of a preparedness plan, is to have an inventory check schedule. Well, now's a good time to start doing all that kind of stuff, because things could change rapidly. Stay alert, stay prepared, be praying for discernment and protection, and I would not take things too lightly. Don't take them too seriously either. Just be ready. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order, to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.